Let me give you the vibe check.
Vibe check.
Nick, run! He coming back!
There he is, Big Electric Man!
Run!
Why is he so
I
fast?
don't know! We're getting our vibes checked tonight. Oh god. Is he seriously following me?
Ah!
I just see you get whacked! I just see you get whacked! Ah!
Look at his eyes, he's so ugly.
Run.
Run.
She knew me, man. She better not have seen me. She better not have seen me. I'm gonna cry. She didn't see me. She didn't see me. Ow. Ah. I got stuck. Where is he?
So exit's near, sad.
Yeah, it's right on me, actually.
He's right on me. Help.
Stay alive, please. Stay alive. I'm halfway done with this gen.
Oh no. I did a bad vibe. Bad idea. No. Ow, wait. No. He got me. Let me go. I'm not going to lie to you. After watching those clips, just a few clips of my old Dead by Daylight gameplay, I have tears in my eyes. Like, how do we get from here, fam? I was going to start this video going, and that's when I started Dead by Daylight. That was me. How many years ago? In, I don't know, I think it was the beginning of 2020 at best, or before, you know, it was definitely beginning of 2020 because I got Dead by Daylight on Christmas on 2019, so definitely beginning of 2020 for sure. And my God, I'm gonna have to like, oh, the tears, gang, it's getting to me. Hey there, Doodle gang, Doodle here, and I thought I'd share that moment and chat about, because right now there's been a lot of why do I still play Dead by Daylight videos hovering around, and I thought I'd share my opinions and just, you know, overall, why am I still here after what, almost, it's gonna be 5 years now of Dead by Daylight. Why am I still here, and why haven't I moved on? That's a very good question, honestly. I get asked that a few times, you know, especially with friends. They're like, oh, you still play Dead by Daylight? You know, like, why do you still play it? I'm like, well, it's a lot harder than you think, you know, and you can't really always give like, oh, I still play it because of this reason. It's more of a personal thing, you know, because Dead by Daylight means a lot to me more than anything. And of course, if you've seen my streams, you know I get mad at Dead by Daylight sometimes. Doesn't everyone get mad at Dead by Daylight? I get mad at Dead by Daylight sometimes. I, you know, get sad about it. I just don't play it anymore. You know, there's a lot of different like emotions and everything to it. But I still love the game, and I always return to it. And there's a lot of good reasons to why. The gameplay is good. No other company, like, have you ever seen like other games try their hardest to replicate Dead by Daylight's glory and greatness, like TCM, Killer Clowns? You just can't get a good game loop from any other game. Now, probably the nearest closest for me is probably TCM, because I find TCM enjoyable if you know the balance is good. Remember when the balance was shit in TCM? At least they're trying, but like, good lordy G, and they're trying to expand it. Good for them. I really enjoyed Rush Week more than anybody else, so I'm a big Rush Week fan anyway. And plus the game, you know, like I said, gameplay is amazing. It's horror, by the way. I am a big fan of horror in general. I was introduced to horror at a very young age. Now, I don't know the exact age, but it was about the time where Guitar Hero and Mortal Kombat was pretty popular on the PS3 and Xbox and whatnot. I'd say roughly, like, I would definitely get this wrong, 2012, possibly a little younger than that, a little younger, a little younger than that, a little more than that. I say maybe 2010, so on and so forth. My mom was really, really into horror, and I got introduced to it. And one of my like, one of the first like as far as my memory goes, one of the first like iconic horror villains that I was introduced to at a young age was Freddy and Jason. And then later down the road, it was, we had Jeepers Creepers and you had Michael and stuff like that. But it was definitely Freddy and Jason was introduced to me as a kid. And can you guess? I tell this to everybody because it's a funny joke. Can you guess out of all movies, Jason movies at that time? Because Jason movies weren't really made around the time. Can you guess what movie gave me nightmares as a kid? I'll set the timer. Get all your questions. Put it down in the comments, why don't you? Never mention that anymore, but it was Jason X. Jason Goes to Space. That gave me nightmares as a kid. Yeah, you can laugh at me all you want. Kid me was terrified. And here I am, still enjoying Dead by Daylight and horror as it is, And at the time after that, some personal biz happened in my life, and I wasn't really, clinging on to horror as I used to as a kid, and I just never really indulged myself back into it till about 2014, where bangers were coming out. You had Until Dawn, FNAF, all the goodness gracious, and especially getting introduced to Markiplier at a young age, when he was currently, doing, Slender Man, Ao Oni, Witch's House, like all the RPG Maker games, and like just anything of the iconic time back then. Slendy Tubbies, I mean, like, come on, man. And that's when I started getting back into horror, but at the time I was more into indie and all that matter. Till about later in the years, again, I cannot pinpoint you when I got exactly back into horror, but it was definitely when I had some relationships, and one of them relationships introduced me to Dead by Daylight. Like really early on. I'm assuming it was in 2019 when I got introduced to it, and I was fascinated, sheerly fascinated by Dead by Daylight. I didn't even have the game yet till Christmas, and I love the characters. They were so awesome, and literally my love for Jake came to be. And even personal reasons, I had a nice like personal with Jake and Michael. They were like my favorite characters of all time, and especially during those years, I kind of distanced myself really from them, even drawing them, because of, personal reasons. Right? We're not gonna get into it, my God. And I just really didn't like. I know in that one speck of time where I was not playing Dead by Daylight for a while, I think it had to been in between. It definitely was 2020. For like not like I was like a little after COVID for sure when COVID ended. So like say like 2021 to 2022, I wasn't really doing good. My mental health wasn't great. I was losing motivation to play things. I was going through a really hard time in my life, and there was a lot of things I just did not want to be reminded of, and Dead by Daylight was one of those things that really reminded me of some things that I wish I just didn't get myself involved in, and it was a sad time for me. But after you know, taking care of myself and pushing through high school, I blame high school for a lot of those key points in my life, but I started getting back into Dead by Daylight. And there was another thing with in the video you just watched, you have people also talking in there. Those were my old buddies I used to play Dead by Daylight with all the time. And at that point, we were pretty much growing up. We were, starting out, finishing high school or getting jobs, going to college, stuff like that. And it definitely took a toll on me. Also, that's why maybe stopped playing Dead by Daylight, because I liked it more when I was playing with friends than myself. Still accuse a bitch, man, let me tell you. And yeah, and by the time at least late 2022, I got back into Dead by Daylight. I don't know the exact of the timeline. I wish I knew. My memory's not really good. But yeah, I started playing DBD again. I started drawing it. I was more happy to be involved with Jake My Jakey Poo, my honey pie sweetie kids, a main forever and always. Like literally those videos were like when I started playing DBD, so you already know who was my main from the get-go. It was Jake. And yeah, it just started I started playing again. I was trying my hardest at the time to, you know, be more competitive in the way and, indulge more into that game. And other games at the time. I was playing, Apex Legends and stuff like that as well. But unfortunately, Apex Legends would never live up to how Dead by Daylight's treated me. Even with all the patches and how shit's gone with the game over the years, I still come back for more. It is always so engaging. And I think there's definitely a big difference between Dead by Daylight and Apex. Like, with the last video I made, by the way, you should check it out, the merch video. Apex is great. One of the best shooters I've played. Now, people will probably, yell at me about that. I mean, there's probably better ones out there. Hell, I'm not a Costco person. Costco. CSGO or whatever the fuck it's called. Or Rainbow. I've tried Rainbow. I got bullied off there. Oh my god, I'm never going back to Rainbow. Even though I really do like the characters. I didn't have really good first impressions on Rainbow, and I kind of got scared to get back on it because people were very mean to me. But Apex is really fun as a shooter. It was easy. The characters were very lovable and enjoyable. Till later down the years, till now, it's not really fun. And the lore has gotten so confusing for me, I just gave up. Straight up. It got to the point where I was kind of frustrated by some things, like, hey, Respawn, can we get back to Mirage's sexuality, please? That'd be nice to know. You guys remember this Do you guys remember the season 6 comic where he mentioned himself having a quicksand sexuality and they never went back to it ever again? That's awesome. Thanks, Respawn. Anyway, not me worried about character sexualities or anything. Don't worry, I hate myself more, man. Don't worry about it. But back on track here. With how Dead by Daylight is, I know people gave like short explanations of like, hey, this is why I like this game, and this is why I like that. I like the aspect of the game. For me, I feel like it's more better to explain why I'm still here in a way of explaining the past and the future. And with the future now, by like what? Jesus Christ, I have to check. Sorry for the splits. Not scripted video alert, again, by me. My first Dead by Daylight video was posted March 23rd? No, March 13th, sorry. March 13th of 2023, which was at a time where I wasn't really doing good. Like, that was like when I talked about the time between, it was right after COVID by, let's say, when after COVID, 2022, but like 2022 wasn't really a good year for me. I mean, like COVID wasn't really good either. But by the time, I mean, of course, COVID was by the time. Sorry, I'm like confusing the timeline here. But by 2022, I was bleh. I just actually by that time I mean, I was already out of high school and I had a hard time getting a job and my parents didn't really care. Well, not, when I talk about my mom did nothing ever in this. Of course, we love mom around here. It was my dad and my stepmother. They never have done anything for me at the time and I had to take my own initiative and move out of there by the beginning of this year, Holy Grail of 2024. So you already know I wasn't doing good myself, and since I was at home a lot and I didn't really have the freedom to do what I wanted, I was in a spiral of repetitiveness, and I thought, hey, I like DBD. DBD's doing good on YouTube, even though I wasn't really thinking of that. I was just like, hey, I always, as a kid, like generally I was looking through my old accounts, like me with many emails as a person. I have some old accounts, which I didn't even realize it at the time, but I have been posting on YouTube for over 9 years. Not even on this channel, on different ones. And I found an old YouTube channel of mine that has so many Roblox and Animal Jam Let's Plays. And I'm like so shocked by that. To the fact that I was so dedicated as a kid to do that. I had over almost 50 videos on that channel. Even if I had 25 subscribers, I was still doing the fucking grind, dude. I was on it. And I just stopped. And it was by the time some things happened in my life, and I just stopped doing so, and I didn't have that, and then have the capabilities of doing it anymore. And now I thought I have it in me. I think now, like, it's not in a bragging sense or anything. I just know in general I'm a funny person sometimes. Well, I mean, like 50% of the time. And I feel that I do bring, happiness and joyfulness to people. And I thought, you know what? I'll start this YouTube thing. And I literally, like, starting off with my PlayStation only and my phone for thumbnails. PlayStation was for editing videos on SharePlay, which, if you ever use SharePlay, you know how bad that is. And then having my phone to do thumbnails and editing and making sure everything in that matter. That's all I had for a very long time. And somehow, out of everything with that, I was able to build something off of it. And if you want to start your own channel and you want to do Dead by Daily content, but you think you can't because of the capabilities and what you don't have, do it, fam. I swear, I don't know if Xbox has an editing thing, maybe Xbox does, but I know PlayStation. Use SharePlay. You can upload stuff on YouTube. If you have a phone, there you go. You have your recording. You can edit. Bam. Just remember to save your footage after you're done. That's it. It's simple. Even if it's a little bit more like tactical, like a little stupid wise, trying to edit everything and make sure you're not gonna blow up your PlayStation. Like I feel like mine sometimes would. You can still do it. And even if for me being a small content creator, it still kept me going to make videos for people, be fun and exciting, and just share opinions. That's really it. And even if I have branched out a little bit now and again just to keep my sanity on this YouTube channel, do it. Even if it's not Dead by Daylight, go achieve your dreams. This is a side hobby for me. I've been doing this for a little bit over a year now, since, like I said, March 2023. So it's been a little bit over a year, and I'm almost to 400 subscribers. The grind is crazy, man. And once you save up and get what you need, even it's a little easier, but of course, you got to keep on that grind. I recommend shorts and all that good nonsense because shorts have been doing me pretty good. And of course, like I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes promoting your videos is good. I know, it kind of sucks to say that. I am more of a person who wants my videos to not be promoted and try to reach people. But the YouTube algorithm sucks, and I've been having to use promotion now and again. Now, if you're like, Doodle, how many have you done? How many videos have you promoted so far? I've promoted one short and one video so far. $10. Both one for five, one for five. And my most recent was a DVD merch video because I knew that sucker, the algorithm was not going to treat that one right. So I just shoved in $5 into YouTube's mouth and said, please, at least put this on the timeline for somebody if they're interested in the shitty merch that my daily has. but, me side rambling again. When I started the YouTube channel, I felt like I had a purpose in a way. And I had a purpose to keep going. And I had a purpose to play games. And yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. 2023 was it like even though, like I said, it was a really bad time for me. I feel like out of all years, 2023 was the worst for me. After high school, in 2022, I was going down somewhere that I wish I didn't go down. In the mental wise sense. And I was living day on day. You know what I'm implying? I'm not gonna go into, straight up say, but I just didn't want to be around anymore. That's simplest as I can say it. And by the time I made, the YouTube channel, I started to, I was, it was the only thing keeping me around. And that's kind of what I feel like, in a sense, why I could thank Dead by Daylight for creating such an opportunity for me. And of course, it wasn't, Dead by Daylight in general. It was just one of the major things that have kept me around. Because as a kid, I wasn't really sociable. Like, I had, like, friends, but I was just more the person that was the all around person. Like, hey, we know you, but we don't hang out with you in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, you're all around person. Everyone knows you, pretty friendly with, but you just don't have a specific group of people that you hang around with. And when I did, went throughout high school and stuff, I really only ever had one friend. And thanks to that one friend, I'm still here today. That's another major thing that has kept me around. And yeah, thanks to them, I am still here. I'm still creating content. I am still thriving in life. Without them, I wouldn't be here either. And that's another, sorry if that seemed a little weird to drop down, but it's kind of an important thing to mention, especially the fact of like why I stick around on Dead by Daylight. Because that and my bestie, it's kind of a weird combo there, but they have both things majorly have kept me around because no one's ever given much to thought about me, throughout 2023. I was not in a well place and I couldn't do much for myself. So that that's another good like middle section there. Dead by Daylight has provided more than anyone would think they would for me. And even if it's a silly horror game where you smack survivors on the hook and teabag at killers, it means a lot more to me than a lot of people would think. And it has given me, the opportunity to draw more, to make videos for people, try to express myself more in other ways, because I wouldn't think this YouTube channel would have gotten far, but you guys are amazing. Genuinely, in the bottom of my heart. If this channel wasn't around, I wouldn't even know what would have happened to me. I feel like if things didn't happen the way they did with my life, who would have knows what would have happened to me? Because like YouTube was always a dream of mine as a kid. Like generally back when I started watching Markiplier back in like 2013, it's been such a big dream. And I know I'm never gonna like reach high. I never think about the money. I never think about fame. I just want people to have fun, to have a good time, and feel safe in a community. Even though the YouTube community is so great, a lot of its content is toxicity and stuff like that. I just want to have a place where it's not always that 100% of the time. I just want to have fun and bring awesome content, even though my content isn't the greatest. That's all I ever want. And Dead by Daylight has given me that opportunity to bring out another side in the community. Because that's all I ever want. And there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of content out there that's just mainly focused on drama or toxicity. And for me, I really try to bring out more topics into things. Like the merch video. Have you ever seen anyone talk about the merch? I haven't. If there is, let me know. I know there's been like Etsy stuff talked about, but not really, the other aspects of Dead by Daylight in general. And really the only other accounts that you ever get is like, oh, here's this tech, here's like some build techs, and here's some news. I know Dead by Daylight doesn't provide a lot of stuff to, take off of, but it's a try thing, I try. That's all, that ever is. And I just hope, I never sound too annoying to somebody or like I know I'm not like fitting into the YouTube stuff like oh you're not following a certain thing about the Dead by Daylight YouTube community. I don't care. Okay. I just do it for the fun of it, and I love Dead by Daylight, and I hope Dead by Daylight loves me. I know I give shit to behavior a lot, but this game has really really helped me out in life. And with all the characters, like I don't know, let's dedicate a section to Jake, I guess. Everyone has their question about Doodle. Out of all survivors in Dead by Daylight, why do you choose Jake? The most least recognizable character in the main four group, the one who gets shit on constantly in trailers, the guy just no one ever talks about until he got the glow up when all the survivors got redesigned. Well, let me tell you this, fam. Jake has more of a personal thing for me. You know, kind of the sense of his lore definitely has, but like to me in a sense, I relate to this guy. I know how it feels to try to live up to expectations, and all you want to do is just run away. That's all you want to do. And to not mention the daddy issues there, man. My God. But Jake means a lot more to me in that aspect because I know a lot of like a lot of people choose their characters due to a lot of different things. Oh, their lore, maybe their looks, hell, maybe just their outfits. Who knows? But Jake, to me, let's get rid of all his cosmetics and like his aspect of Dead by Daylight in general, and just give me his lore in like text. I don't know what he looks like, nothing, and I'll go, I like this guy because I understand him, and I hope he gets better. Even if it doesn't give you like the whole entity aspect, it's just like, oh, this guy felt pressured by his father and he dropped out and he just went off to the woods because he didn't want to deal with that anymore, because he felt like he did not live up to expectations and he just couldn't handle it anymore. I understand that. 100% fam. I get it. Now if you go the other way around and go, why do you main Huntress? I just go, haha, silly bunny mother. Even though her lore's way more complicated than that. Why do you go for Nemesis? That's a really, really odd one. For sure. Because I couldn't tell you. I really love Resident Evil. But if you got rid of Resident Evil and just give me Nem Nem, I think him plus the zombies have really like connected me in a way. I just love his character. His gameplay is really nice, and I have a very overall connection to the zombies. Now, of course, definitely the big main reason is because of Resident Evil 3, and when I platinumed it, I say it all the time, I platinumed it. It was my first platinum, and I kind of grew on the Nem Nem that way, and I still love him regardless, even if I didn't play this third game. And if you said Dracula, funny vampire werewolf go burr, even though I don't know a lot about Castlevania. But if you had to go by Jake, then there's a lot more meanings to that. And of course, you're like, hey, what about your other Survivor mains, Doodle? Why do you play Michaela so much, and why do you play Steve so much? Well, it's Steven, by the way. It's not Steve. Like, have you ever seen my channel? It's Steven. Michaela, I just like her witch outfit, and plus, I don't know. I like the witchy aspect. Halloween babe here. I mean, of course, I'm gonna really enjoy it. I just like it because, it's Michaela. I think she's cool, even though she's kind of overrated, but I like her. So, I don't know what to tell you. And just witchy bitchy, she's cool. But Steven, on the other hand, I love Stranger Things. I love Steve. He's one of my favorite characters. If we had Billy, I would main him. Please don't yell at me. I know Billy's very controversial, but I like him. He's misunderstood in my opinion. But hey, we're not going to talk about it. Steve's cool. He's awesome. Stranger Things. Plus, he's just cool. So, well, that's really, in that aspect, I guess we're good dedicating the whole section to survivors and killers in that way. And plus, overall, again, Jake's just more than he seems to be to a lot of people. And plus, it's kind of weird because I feel like I'm obligated to go like, hey, you're like the most least loved survivor. I'm going to love you. Like, even I love Hattie and Gabriel, even though I don't play them as much. I love those guys. It's kind of weird. I draw more to the people that get, like, the least attention. I mean, like, we're going to ignore Steve and Michaela because they're definitely overrated. I mean, like, hell, they are. Michaela in general. But, like, I love all characters in Dead by Daylight. I literally have, like, I don't think I have a character that I despise in Dead by Daylight. Like, not, like, hatred gameplay-wise, but, like, just give me the character and I'm going to tell you that, oh, I really like this character. I don't have any characters I hate. And I know people are really on that, like, Johan hate squad and stuff like that. I don't care. I like the guy. Silly goose, I guess, who did some bad things. I don't care. He's just a guy. I mean, like, he's probably one of the least, literally, I swear to you, he's the least played survivor in Dead by Daylight. I never come across Johans. Ever. And my man's doesn't get any recognition for that. Because they were like, oh, but Hattie. Oh, but Gabriel. What about Johan? What about Johan? I know we don't like him, but, like, still, it's kind of odd in a way that we don't have a Johan squad. Like, hey, why not? I'm going Brooklyn. Why not? Oh, jeez Louise. I rambled a lot for this one, but I feel like it's important too, in a sense of, like, why do I still play Dead by Daylight? Even though no one's ever gonna really ask that on the YouTube space, I've been asked that a lot during my lifetime with a lot of people. Like, oh, literally yesterday, I had a conversation with one of my coworkers. We're just talking about like random games and stuff. I'm like, oh, I really love Dead by Daylight, and they go, oh, I hate Dead by Daylight. I never like understood the hype for that game. And I'm like, oh, it's like I think it's just really fun for being a silly little like horror party game. Ha ha ha. I'm never going into like the great detail because it means a lot more to me than the average eyeball. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, overall, everyone has their own opinions about Dead by Daylight. And you're going to see a lot of YouTubers give the basic answers to that. The gameplay, character, even though I've done that in a sense, but like I give it a more explanation to that and other things to it. They're not going to give you the straight up honesty. And that's what I'm here for. I want to give the straight up honesty about why I love Dead by Daylight and why it means the world to me and why I haven't really switched to anything else since that for almost 5 years now. It's so odd to think about it. If I could find more clips of my old gameplay, I have to go through my PlayStation for that because that's where all my old clips are. I would probably do some old DVD footage for you guys. That one was posted on a TikTok that I had to scroll to find, but I'm glad I at least found it because I really don't feel like going on my PlayStation because that sucker I haven't booted it in months. But yeah, no one's going to give you the straight up honesty like I will. And I feel like, of course, shorter videos do better, but I just want to give the straight up honesty to you. And I feel like that's very important. And to tell you that, yeah, Dead by Daylight does change lives. I am a straight up fact for that. It has changed my life for the better and for the worse in some aspects of my life, but hey, at least it's good now, and I don't have to really worry about things that have happened in the past and all that matter. So, what did we learn today, gang? 30 minutes into this ramble, what did we learn? Dead by Daylight's a really awesome game, even if it has this toxicity side and all that matter. It does mean good to a lot of people, and it has done a lot of good to me. I bet you it has the same way to others. And honestly, if you haven't played Dead by Daylight, go ahead, go try it. Even though beginner DBD is probably the worst experience known to man, I bet you it is. But at the same time, it's a really fun game to get into and to get to the lore and characters and stuff like that. It's a simple game. It's a simple game, but it has done a lot for me. And yeah, uh, sorry for rambling that much, but I thought it would be fun to explain it since everyone's talking about it. And it makes a good video to make since I have time to do it. So, thank you guys for tuning in and for all the love and support on that merch video. By the way, go check it out. It's pretty cool. I talk about merch and how crappy it is. But yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic day in the fog. I will see you in the next trial whenever that will be. I am so surprised I almost cried during the beginning watching those clips. Oh my god, it's been years. I was such a baby back then. I'll see you goobers later. Bye bye. And I love you very much. Remember that. You are loved. And all that good matter.